Están stop the car, stop the car.
Hello everybody and welcome to the IVRC Japanese Touring Championship here from Buriram in Thailand. I'm Ewan and I'm alongside Thomas Raschke here today for the race, round number 5 of the championship of course. And yeah, as I said, we're here for the 4.5 kilometre circuit. But first of all, we introduce Thomas Raschke commentating alongside me, Ewan O'Leary, today. Yeah, I know you're not going to be racing in this one, and you were intending to, Thomas, but what do you make of the circuit, and how do you think the race is going to go for these guys?
I personally think that it might be a great fight between Bernard Moros and Mark Stracker. Those two, I personally think, have a good fight for the win of this race, but we will never know. Maybe we have a surprise winner this time. That's the great thing about the weight penalties we have.
True. The ballast that gets added for your for doing well, basically. Yeah, just to update you on the championship and therefore who's going to be holding the most weight in this race. Mark Stwerker currently leading with 66 points. He's 10 points ahead of Bernard Moos, and then Pablo Lopez a further 3 points behind. And then we've got Carlos Frau in 4th. With Jesus Chirinos in 5th position. They're the top 5 that are really marked out for a really good result in the championship here. I don't think that anybody further back can take this from now on, considering there's only 3 rounds to go. However, somebody could spring a surprise. The man at the top of the standings at the moment is Alvarez, currently running around in the Shadow SR GTR, and he just goes and improves again actually to a 28.9, so very quick pace from him so far. To be 1.8 seconds faster than the next car is very impressive indeed. Let's see where the championship contenders are then. Pablo Lopez currently 3rd. He's the furthest up of them. Got quite a lot of motor cars, by the way. I'm sure you don't know if you've been watching this series throughout the whole of its first 4 rounds, but I haven't, as looks like the man at the top of the practice session, Santos, just goes to the top again in the Honda NSX there, the Snow Shatten NSX, by 0.6 of a second, so it's getting close towards the top. But as I said, Pablo Lopez down in 4th at the moment. Bernard Moos, in a very nice looking car, I have to say, is in 5th. I do like that livery. I don't think it'll. I don't think everyone will like it, but I think that's quite nice, actually.
Indeed. I personally very much like all the Team Bernie cars. They're all orange, and orange is my favorite color, so I just love them. Seeing some orange cars.
Get some colour into it. Very nice indeed. He's currently in 4th position in the. Now that could be right, can it? Because he's not in a Nissan, so. I think he's 5th or 3rd, I don't really know, as he just goes onto the front straight once more, and we'll see if Rose can improve on this lap. He's just starting one at the moment, so we'll check in on him a little bit later on. He's actually down in 7th, which is not great for him, just ahead of Laszlo Teglis, who's just been bumped down to 9th position, but then improves on his lap time again. Can't improve on his position, but he does improve on his lap time. Now, I just want to mention this. From 4th position down to about, well, that's somebody's just ruined it there, but from 4th position round to about 10th position, we've got 7 cars separated by 0.3 of a second. It is really close in the midfield here, despite there being quite a lot of guys who are very, very quick up the front of the field. It's very, very close in the midfield. I think that point is kind of hammered home by the fact that championship leader Mark Stwerker down is 7th at the moment. Going to go on board with him for a second because he's one of the main players in this championship, of course. Got a 10-point lead over Bernard Rhodes. So yeah, we'll see. But would you say that Mark Stewart is the favourite to take this championship from here? There's 3 rounds to go. He's got a slender lead, but he's very, very good indeed. So would you say that he is favourite to take the victory here today?
Well, as said, with the weight penalties, it might get interesting between him and Moss, since both of them have about the same weight on their cars. But if I look on the leaderboard, Santos looks very quick, so maybe he can win this race.
Yeah.
So we won't know. We will see.
It's going to be a nail biter towards the end, but a bit wide there for Stwerker. Really wide, actually. It's completely off the circuit using that runoff on the exit. He's actually just in front of Santos on the circuit right now. But yes, Santos currently at the top of the timing sheets by 1.2 seconds, which is pretty huge, actually, in these kind of terms. So very good to see him doing so well. I don't believe he's scored any points in the championship so far. That might be one reason why, because he won't have any weight on his car. So maybe that's why he's so far in front, but it's still a very impressive drive from him nevertheless.
Yeah, it is. As far as I know, it's his debut actually in the JTC, so debuting at the last race where the weight penalties are like this seems to work out for him.
It's working out right now.
If you didn't know, on the next race, which will only feature the championship points times 1 as weight. So, and for the last one at Laguna Seca, there will actually be no weight penalties. So that will be very interesting to see that last round in Laguna Seca.
Yeah, it's going to be. You're going to need to tune in to all of the rounds to find out what's going to happen here, because we honestly don't know who's going to take this championship. But currently at the top of the timing sheets, it's still Santos by 1.2 seconds. We've got, of the championship contenders, we've got Bernard Rhodes in 5th position there for Team Bernie. He's in 2nd in the championship at the moment, by the way, as well. Stwerker, championship leader, currently in 6th position, so he's right on the tailpipes of his championship rival, his main championship rival. Pablo Lopez is it says on the website that it's Roto 2 racing team, but it's not actually. It's one of the Motul cars, one of the Motul Nissans. So I presume he might be in 7th position, looking at the left-hand side of the leaderboard at the moment. Chirinos is driving for Ven Express, the Venezuelan driver. He's down in 8th position at the moment. He'll be looking to do a little bit better on in the race, I think. And Carlos Frau, the other one, he's in the other Motul car, but he's in a Lexus, so he's down in dead last at the moment, which is kind of the beauty of this ballast system. You can have championship contenders starting in last, and that makes it really challenging for some guys, because it means they're going to have to make their way through the field, which is going to be very exciting to watch.
Indeed. We're actually speaking about all the competitiveness we have 4 different pole positions and 4 different race winners in all 4 of the races. So no one has ever started on pole twice this season in the JTC. And no one has won twice. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. Of course, Bernard Rhodes took from pole to win last time, but yeah, that's the only time he's done either of those things. So, yeah, he did well at the last round in Sepang. It was when he won. But yeah, so we'll see how he gets on today. I believe actually we've lost Mark Stewart. I wonder if he's disconnected, because that's not very normal. But yeah, it would be a shame to see him not in here at all, Stewart. I'm sure he'll get back in, but yeah, that would be a shame to see him not in the race at all.
Indeed, it would take away the championship fight. But I said with less weight penalties, I think Mark's simply going to be dominant at the Laguna Seca race with no penalties. But we won't know. Maybe I can be dominant.
You never know. Anything can happen. I believe he's back in now. So there you go. 6th position for Stwerker, just in behind Bernard Rhodes. And this is the fantastic thing about the JTC with the ballast. we've got championship rivals, and they're going to be battling over 5th position. I was just going to go and check the points scaling in a minute, because that's going to be quite important throughout the race. I don't know if you know if it's just F1 points or something, but
points for the top 15, 25 points for the winner, 1 point for 15th place.
Okay.
So, I think the same as in the AEC.
Yeah.
Correct.
I've got it up at the moment. It's not quite F1, but it's recognisable for sure. So obviously, well, 5th to 15th is just 11 down to 1. That's pretty simple. But 4th it's 13, 3rd it's 16, 2nd it's 20, and 1st it's 25. Personally, I think this is a much better way of doing it than the F1 point system. Having a gap of 7 points between 1st and 2nd is too big, in my opinion. But you know, I don't make the rules. Yeah, the way we've got it here is a much better way of doing it. But I believe we're in warm-up at the moment, or something, because apparently we've still got time left on the thing at the top of the screen. But we won't have that in a second. We'll have the number of race laps. Of course, all these races in the JTC are all 200 kilometers. So yeah, it doesn't. It's not very confusing, which is good. Yeah, Buriram is this round. The last round will be at Laguna Seca, and then we've got Autopolis sandwiched in the middle. Got to check when that is. 22nd of August, so we've got 3 weeks to wait until Autopolis, and then another 3 weeks until Laguna Seca. So, yeah, it's nicely spaced out, and we'll end up finding out who will take the win in the championship. It's going to be very interesting to see, but we've seen a different pole position. Are we going to see a different winner for the 5th time in this season? That's going to be the really interesting thing. One more thing I would like to just touch on for a moment is the fact that Rhodes has retired from a race, whereas Struiker hasn't. So do you think that if Rhodes hadn't had that retirement in Suzuka, then maybe he would be leading the championship right now? Is this a missed opportunity for him at the moment?
I wouldn't go so far and say a missed opportunity, because with every retirement, you don't gain points, and it basically is that you don't gain weight penalties. So maybe that retirement in Suzuka helped him to get that win in Sepang. So we don't know. Actually, I don't know if you guys saw it before, but Bernard Morris won the race in Sepang by pit strategy. He actually took tires which you don't need, and then just was absolutely crushing the field, catching back up to the leaders, overtaking them, and then winning. Very interesting indeed last time out.
Yes, the question is that going to, because obviously we've never seen that before, until or never seen it work effectively anyway. Are we going to see a few more guys actually go for tyres this time, because they've seen it work before, so they might as well give it a go. You never know. Oh, as my game completely crashes there, so that's fantastic. I'll just have to nudge and annoy Carlos here, but apologies for the... Actually, I'm going to put a different screen on for you. There you go. So that you can't see. Actually, I'll just put the waiting scene on. There you go. You got so much to look at, but unfortunately, it's not the racing. I'll get that back up, and I'll annoy Carlos. But we'll just talk amongst ourselves for the moment. Yeah, I'll just sort this out for a second. This didn't happen last week, by the way, when I was doing AEC. It'll work fine, and I've got to say a big thank you to Carlos as well, actually, for teaching me how to do it, because it's I can imagine it's quite difficult, especially in a different language. Obviously, he doesn't speak English as his first language, and I only speak English, so explaining to me how to do all this is pretty difficult. So I've got to say thank you to him, because yeah, that's basically why this is happening right now. But yeah, unfortunately, we just got up. But you're not missing anything. That's the main thing, because we're only in warm-up right now, so the guys will just be preparing themselves for the race. But anyway, back to my point a second ago about the old pit strategy. Do you think that because Rhodes made that work so well last time out, that more people are going to go for it this time because they know it might pay off for them.
Actually not, because I think that he was the fastest car on track, and he was the fastest car by, I think, like half a second or a second per lap before he pitted. After he pitted, he was 3 seconds faster than everyone. So he was the fastest car always long, and he had the pace to do it. So I don't think that if, for example, a midfield guy does the same, that he can basically win this race without problems. So my preferred strategy, if I would have been in the race, I wouldn't take tires and gamble on track position, but not on tires, because the tires can last their whole race distance.
200 kilometers. Of course, the guys often go for the no tires, but it looks very close between Moats and Stroker in this one. So it's going to be very interesting even without that element. I'm just loading in again now, by the way, so you're not going to have to wait 10 minutes or 7.5 or whatever it is now on the timer. So I'll be back in here in just a moment. But yeah, I believe that actually I'm talking over music, or we're talking over music right now. That's what normally plays. But sorry if you can't hear us. We're not talking about much interesting or relevant. So here we go. I am in again now. Although there's only like 4 people here, so maybe we've had a whole server problem here, but yeah, I'm sure that won't be an issue because we'll just set the grid the way it was, and then we'll be away again. But yeah, just a little bit of working out to do here before we actually get underway. But we'll just fix all the issues and then be back. Here we go. We can put the game back on now. There we go. We'll be ready. But although that says practice, we're basically, well, I guess it's a substitute for warm-up really, because I think the server might have detonated, I'm afraid. So yeah, that we might be completely rebooting everything right now. I'm not really sure what is going on, but you know, we'll find out soon enough, I guess.
The server did the massive combust? Interesting.
Yes, it looks like it did. Because there's only 4 people left in the game, so going to take a bit of working out this one. At least we've got cars to watch out there on the circuit.
Because I can't join the game either.
Ah.
Interesting. Now what?
That is an issue.
I'm confused.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, now I can join again.
So yeah, everyone's just as you may have just saw on the stream there on the left, on the right hand side. Sorry, the people are just connecting again, and their ballast is being applied. Of course, it's 2 times your points is what you get in kilograms if you see what I mean. So Stuarker's got, for example, 132 kilograms of weight. Buriram Moos is going to have 112, Pablo Lopez 106, and Frau is going to have 90, Chirinos 80. So if you think about it, Chirinos is effectively 50 kilograms lighter than Stuarker, and that is not insignificant. That's going to make a big difference, both over 1 lap pace and over a stint as well, because I can imagine your tyre wear is probably not going to be quite as good when you're carrying 50 extra kilograms.
Indeed. I think that's also what helped Buriram Ross the last time out in Malaysia, that the tire for the other guys with more weight wasn't as good. The tires, you could really see a fall off of the tires, very specific, or not normal for the DC cars we use. That the tires fall off like that, but it happened, and Ross absolutely. Either he gambled on it or he just knew it, I don't know. But he won. Great job by him.
He was, yeah, the second pole to victory of the season, by the way. The first was Sven Gilhold in the first round at Okayama. He managed to take the victory, and it was Angel Gonzalez in second position, Pablo Lopez third, for his first of 2 podiums in the season so far, for the 3rd place man in the championship. But yeah, currently watching Laszlo Teglis, the Hungarian driver, out there at the moment. In his, he's actually started 3 of the races so far. This is his 4th attempt, sorry, at the 5th round in Buriram. Didn't start in Fuji, but best result came last time out at Sepang with the 7th position. So we're seeing quite a few of these guys start to improve. So yeah, that's good for those guys, and he qualified somewhere near the back end of the top 10 as well. So yeah, we'll see how he gets on in the race. We don't have to wait 2 hours and 40 minutes in the practice session, by the way. That's just kind of there at the moment. Well, we just get everyone in. I'll show you on the stream. Probably not supposed to do this, but I am. So there you can see 11 drivers are connected, unless Thomas is one of them. No, he's not. So there we go. We're just waiting for one more, I believe. 1 or 2 more. And on the right-hand side, you can see there all the penalty ballast being added to the drivers. So you've got to get that right as well. Do the maths to work it out, and yeah, then we'll be away. But yeah, currently Teglis is the only one out there on the circuit. I don't know if we're going to get a warm-up yet, because I guess this would effectively count as warm-up, but I don't really know what happens in circumstances of a server crash, kind of halfway through the transition, really, between the qualifying and the race. I don't really know what's supposed to happen, so have to wait and see.
I never experienced something like this on this extent. That only with 12 drivers on the server, that the server does stuff like that. That's strange.
It is, yeah. Well, I can't say I've been in many servers for IVRC. I did 1 race last season. I did 1 race last weekend, so I can't say I've got much experience, but yeah, it does seem a little bit odd. But there you go. These things happen sometimes. I would like to talk about the cars, actually, because I don't think I know of many other places that actually have GT500 cars in their game. Obviously, we've got them modded in here. The Lexus, the Nissan, and the Honda, all here. All sound a little bit different as well, which is helpful, because in real life they sound the exact same, pretty much, with their engines. They don't sound bad, don't get me wrong, but they just sound all the same. So these ones do sound a little bit different, and it's nice to see these cars actually in a game. And we haven't got GT300s here, but that's probably for the best on some occasions, because sometimes traffic can get a little bit difficult, especially if we were sending 30 odd cars to Laguna Seca with 15 GT500 and 15 GT300s. It would be a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, we've got only the GT500s, but it's very nice to have them here, of course.
Yeah, the cars. I think for Assetto Corsa there's a mod for those cars. In R-Factor 2 there's an older version of the cars already in game, so there definitely are some other mods for those cars.
Yeah, they're, we've got them around in certain places, but yeah, it's good to see them here. Obviously, the Super GT season in real life, the series that these cars race in real life, started up. I believe it was last weekend or the weekend before, and yeah, it was a pretty good entertainment. But that was at Fuji, and we've already had our round there at Fuji. As we go in again, I believe this is the transition into the race rather than another server crash. Let's hope so, anyway. Yeah, maybe we'll have to do warm-up again, not really sure. But maybe they'll just do away with that, because we're running a little bit late now, but you know, these things do tend to happen from time to time. Yeah, got our 12 drivers here, and we are going to do warm-up, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in warm-up session now, so let's see what comes out of this.
It'll be 15 minutes. You see at the top of your screen is just counting down towards it, so the guys can go to the end of pit lane if they like, but not yet, or they can't go out yet. So yeah, we'll just wait for this. So while warm-up starts, I think we're going to take a short little break here just to prepare ourselves for the race, and then we'll be back with the rest of warm-up and the actual race here in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere, because we've got the 200 kilometers race here at Buriram for the IVRC JTC, and we'll be back. In a few minutes.
User left your channel.
Stop the car.
welcome back to the Buriram circuit here for the IVRC GTC season, round number 5 here from Thailand, of course. Currently in warm-up, got 10 minutes to go until the race, and I'm still here at Ewan alongside Thomas Raschke for this race, 200 kilometres around the 12 turns of the Buriram circuit, so yeah, should be an interesting one for sure. Championship implications galore. Mathematically, everybody can still win the championship because there's 75 points on the table in the last 3 rounds. I don't know actually if the final round's double points or something, but I believe it's normal.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah, so everybody who, yeah, literally, well, you could start now, basically, have your first race now and still be able to win the championship. Obviously, things would need to go your way, but that's besides the point. Everyone can still win the championship. And so, by the end of this race, we're still not really going to have any idea who is going to win. But obviously, we've outlined 5 favourites for this race. Them being Stwerker, Mrotes, Lopez, Frau and Chirinos. All 5 of those are probably the favourite to take them, but we're in the oh, well, kind of. We're loading into the race now, which is good. So yeah, we'll get some last minute predictions from you here, Thomas. Who do you think is going to take the victory around the 44 laps of Buriram?
I didn't expect Bernard Moss winning last time, so I'm going to go bold and say, I don't know. Maybe Jesus Kirinos can have a chance at this win. But let's just say Jesus will win.
That's going to be good drive. It's going to be very exciting if he does do the win, because he's down in 8th position. That's going to be a lot of overtaking. But we've got the snow-shodden NSX of Santos, who's going to be lining up first. Somebody actually had the grid there. Oh no, it's a safety car, never mind. Sorry, I'm not used to this. As we get underway for the formation lap. Santos is going to lead them around behind the safety car, which is just looks like everybody else's car really, but it's not obviously. So there you go. But yeah, 12 drivers I believe there is. Yeah, with Carlos Frau, one of the championship contenders in 4th position in the championship at the moment. Carlos Frau in 12th position. Are you surprised by that performance from him, or is it or not?
Kind of yes, but Carlos isn't the best driver in qualifying. He's more of a racer, just like Lance Stroll. Maybe he can even go out there and win this race just by race pace and strategy. We will not know. It's difficult to say.
It is
such a competitive grid.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Very close in the midfield as well. Obviously we had Santos taking the pole by about 1.2 seconds in the end, but from 4th down to about 10th, I think I said, 7 or 8 cars separated by about half a second, so it's very close in the midfield. We're going to see some good battling in those guys in that kind of area. We're expecting a one-stop race here, probably around halfway, and we don't need tyres, as you have already. Well, I've learned as well, but you have learnt during this race. So yeah, it's going to be a good race, and we'll see really what kind of action this Buriram circuit can provide. Expecting big opportunities down, especially into turns 3, as it's known. In that hairpin, it's going to be a big action area down there.
Indeed, you have this very long straight. Once you get a good exit out of turn 1, you can just get in the draft and just either plow by them on the straights or break yourself to the inside of the corner. This corner is so wide actually. I personally think that you might even be able to go around the outside if you take enough momentum around the outside.
We will see as the guys come into the final corner. Santos is going to accelerate out of it, and we are going to be underway here in a moment. He just holds it ever for a little bit longer, and it's Santos alongside Alvarez as we go across the start-finish line for the first time, and they're not going anywhere, which is great. So they're just waiting along Maybe there's a second formation lap. I'm not really sure.
The green flag, I think, hasn't been given.
No, it hasn't. Oh.
I think the race station will get restarted. Yep.
Yes, it has. So we'll do all that again then, by the looks of it. So yeah, these guys are going to go off on the formation. Not really sure what happened there, but at the top of your screen, it didn't go to lap 1. So you can only presume that. I don't really know what's gone on there, but
I think I know, because for some reason with this track, there's the leading car needs to be very close to the safety car to do something with the game. There's something wrong with the game regarding this. So you just need to be very close to the safety car, which can be very scary in AMS.
yes, I think that we might be starting on lap 1 here behind the safety car, and then we'll start the race proper on lap 2 to kind of alleviate those kind of problems. So Santos is going to have full control over the field. Oh no, we're going to lap 0 again, so we're going to try again. Hopefully it works this time. It's going to be a bit of more of a brisk formation lap, it looks like. Santos goes wide into turn number 1 there. Not a good start, but hopefully the guys actually pack up and grid up a little bit closer on this occasion, because on that start I noticed the guys were very spread out actually, and the guys who were at the back were a long way back. So in fact Alvarez was holding back so much that I thought it was going to be a single file start, but obviously everyone in the background wasn't doing that. So unsure what he's doing there, but you know, he's continuing on anyway. I noticed a lot of Hondas in this field actually. It seems to be the car of choice in this race, or in the championship.
I think it's simply because the Honda is, at least in my opinion, the best looking car in this field. Physics wise, all the cars are the same, so it's really only the look of it.
Right, I didn't know that. And the sound's a little bit different, as we mentioned earlier, but yeah. I wonder if oh, if you say they're all the same, then I presume the front engine, because in real life last season the Honda was mid-engined in GT500, but that's not the case anymore. Yeah. Anyway, mainly a looks thing. It does look good, I have to say, the Honda. And of course we were calling it, or this very car, an Acura last weekend when we were doing the American Endurance Championship. Obviously that would have been in GTD in that category, but anyway, we're here for the Japanese Touring Championship here on IVRC, and the guys getting very close to the safety car, as we are supposed to, as now they slow up ever so slightly, let it get a little bit away, and then Santos is going to be in control of the field as they round turn number 12, the final turn in this circuit, and he goes almost straight away, does he? No, he just accelerates ever so slightly, almost a spin in the background. There nearly was actually, as they come across the line, and it's not worked
again.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with this.
Yes, there is something wrong, I'm afraid.
Oh.
I mean, I don't see why they don't just do away with the formation lap and just let them do their formation lap on their own and make it a 45 lap race. But I don't know. I don't really know how this game works either too well.
Interesting. I got the news that we will have a standing start with those cars. Expect a lot of wheel spin with those things.
And a lot of noise as well. As we load in again.
Oh, the noise will be great.
Yes, the noise will be enjoyable, but the wheel spin won't be, I'm afraid. That's going to be a bit of a nightmare for these guys. You can see we're just loading in again. Third time lucky. Is what we're going for here. Everyone enters at the same time. Still going to have 12 drivers, I believe, here for the race, and all 5 of the main championship contenders. Standing start is the order of the day, as you can see on the right hand side from the chat thing. Just waiting for one more person, and then we'll be in here in warm up at the moment. But obviously, I don't think we're going to be doing that since these guys have been waiting around long enough. I think it's been over half an hour now since we were supposed to start, but
Oh, indeed.
we're getting there.
So
Taking a
now,
little-
I'm in
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. Great.
Problem is somebody isn't trying to work out who it is. Believe it might be. No, can't honestly remember who was in here before. To be honest, it's supposed to be. Obviously, it says there's 12 there, but that's the stream one in the 4th position at the moment, so that doesn't count. Yeah. Obviously, the graphics don't really work if you don't go into the game proper. So that's why the stream thing has to be there. Looks a little bit weird at times, but we can deal with it. Ooh, can hear engine. Somebody going out.
Oh,
So Fran Rodriguez is going out for some reason, but probably just waiting. But oh, here we go. Oh no, I was just lagging a little bit as he waits at the end of the pit lane. Oh, that's a strange camera angle. All of these look quite strange, actually. On the old on the Nissan they work, but I didn't try it on the other ones. So it's going to be a standing start. Now, you were saying earlier that this is going to be very interesting. Have you ever tried to get this car off the lineup for a standing start, or would you prefer not to?
I have never tried like putting it from a standing start on anger. But if for example, the guy in pit lane is just standing there waiting for the light to go green, and if you then go full throttle, you get wheel spin. It's not acceptable. It's like it wants to kill you. Let's put it like this. It wants to kill you.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of wheel spin, as we said earlier. A little bit of a jam in the pit lane right now, but I believe we're just waiting for the final driver to come in. Just going to check again here. Yes, we are. The guy's actually waiting at the end of the pit lane as well right now. It's Jacek who's currently first in line to go out. Obviously, if you're alarmed by the practice thing at the start of at the top of the screen right now, then don't be, because we're not going to be doing 2 hours and 45 minutes of practice. Jacek goes straight off the road. Yeah, leads them out for a bit of practice, for what it's worth. I believe actually these guys, when they come out the pit lane, the tyres are cold, so maybe that's the reason why they don't swap tyres as well. I don't really know, other than the fact obviously you can make it that way anyway.
Actually, if you go out of pit lane, the tires have around 75 to 80 degrees Celsius, so
All right.
they're really heated. And cold tires with those cars, well, I personally don't mind it, but I'm one of the guys who really likes cold tires for some reason, driving on cold tires. When the car is a bit more how can I say it? When the car is a bit more oversteer and stuff, I personally liked it. But you don't want to change tires, because if you change tires and fill the car with fuel, it takes you around 30 seconds. So that's half a minute you can save of your race time by not changing tires and not putting any fuel in the car. Because fuel apparently can go to the end without any problems.
Right, so we're not going to be seeing any pit stops at all in this race then.
No, you have to do a mandatory pit stop.
Oh, you have to. Okay.
It has to be. And this race, the last time you can pit is on lap 41. You can pit from lap 1 onwards till lap 41. If you pit after that, you'll get disqualified.
Right.
Or if you don't pit in that window, you will get disqualified.
Here we go then. Standing start it is. And that is going to be a very interesting prospect for us all. Wish there was a little bit of a better camera angle to show you this, but there isn't really. So if we go on facing backwards, maybe from the car. Not really.
Race
Not really
session
what I'm
is
looking for.
starting. Race session is starting. Oh, I'm a bit hyped for this one.
Yeah, we're finally ready. The anticipation has been building over the last few moments while we've been trying to get things worked out. I believe we've got the guys in now then. As the lights come on, finally, for round 5 of the GATC here at Buriram. It's a very good start from the second row actually, from Garcia, who's already into second position. Santos leads them around the first turn. Can everyone get through cleanly? Rotes has got into third position there. We've got Pablo Lopez just in behind him. Let's see what's going to happen down here into turn number 3 as they all single file themselves out. Looks like Mark Stewart's stuck in around about 6th position at the moment as they all break now towards the third turn. Fran Rodriguez trying to go around the outside of everybody. It's not really worked out for him. Oh, Pablo Lopez goes right around the outside of Rotes as well. Here we go into the 4th turn. And he's got the inside line, so he's going to have that position surely. And he does. So the orange car pushed down behind the red one, but he's going to go down the inside again. This is a fantastic battle between them. Oh, it's close. Through turn 5, a little bit of contact. And they're still going side by side now. Lopez and Rotes do not know when to give up right now.
Jesus Quirinos has had some crash or something. He's way down the field. He was standing on the track.
And Carlos Frau is one of those who's benefited from it, because he is into 8th position at the moment, just behind Mark Sturker. But that's an interesting battle to watch. Back up the front, it is Santos who has marched away with the lead right now in the number 133, the Honda, and he leads around lap number 1 from Garcia. Rotes is second. Oh, there's all sorts of chaos going on the background. Sturker's gone for the pit lane already, so a big tactical call from Mark Sturker, trying to get out of traffic. Oh.
What? No, I certainly didn't expect that to happen.
No, it's a bit of a surprise, that one. He's trying to avoid this craziness down here with Carlos Frau and Jacek. Frau goes very wide to not get hit, but he gets hit anyway. And there's a bit more contact as well. Carbon fibre left on the turn. Oh! And he very nearly turned into Chirinos, who is recovering.
That was a very, very unusual incident right there.
Yeah, it was. So I think Frau was going so wide to avoid getting hit by Jacek, but Jacek was going so deep into the corner that he ended up hitting him anyway. So there's contact between the two, and yeah, one of them spun around, unfortunately. That's the way it goes. Rotes now trying to make progress. He's in 3rd at the moment, way ahead of his championship rival Mark Sturker, who is 10 points behind right now as we stand. So Garcia goes over the line, Santos goes over the line to complete lap number 2. We've got Garcia in 2nd position and Rotes in 3rd, but is that about to change? Because the orange and multicoloured Honda about to try and overtake the red one as Rotes goes to the inside to try and chase the slipstream. Goes to the outside now. He's going to brake very late indeed. Use the real wideness of this corner to try and go right round the outside of Garcia. That would be very impressive indeed. He's just pushed on to the curb ever so slightly. And now they're on side by side up towards turn number 4 as well. This is a very fast corner, but you want to be on the inside for it. However, Rotes hasn't got the corner and he has to tuck in behind Garcia. He's going to go to the inside again though at turn number 5. Garcia covers from him again. Oh, contact. The two make ever so slight contact.
They lost 2 seconds to Santos whilst having this fight.
Yeah. They're seeing the racing go away from them right now. The longer they do this, that's for sure.
It's Pablo Lopez is catching up to them.
He is.
So
He's right here.
That hasn't worked out well for them.
No, I think Moritz was trying to get through pretty sharpish, but he couldn't in the end. And now, is he going to go for the pit lane? No, he just wants to get through ASAP, really. And he gets a good exit off of the final corner. Now, can he do anything? Down into turn number 1. It's not really the best overtaking opportunity because the braking zone is quite small. Garcia goes defensive anyway, and Moritz goes very wide indeed. Comes back onto the circuit and gets a run on the NSX in front of him. Now, will he be allowed to keep the position if he gets this? Because he's able to get his run from off the circuit. He goes to the outside now, but he brakes early. I don't think he's trying to get this position just for now. He's trying to get the exit onto the... well, I don't want to call it back straight, but one of the other straights, really. Don't really know what to call it. A good fight between these two. Lap number 4, but they're seeing the race wing go away from them, that's for sure.
They are really losing plenty of time whilst fighting.
Yeah. Lots and lots of time being lost here. Garcia just looks like he's taking quite some very defensive lines actually in some of these turns. In the final sector right now. The right-hander and then a bit of a longer and flat-out left-hander now. Before a little bit right-hand king because we've got a yellow flag down in the order for somebody who has gone off. It's Jacek who was off and he is now last. So Mark Stwerker gains a position and he's continuing to gain points, which is important for him because he's had a disastrous start. He's got out of traffic, which is important, but he's had a pretty much, yeah, a big disaster throughout the first part of this race. Here we go then. Bernard Moritz on the back of Garcia once again. He goes to the outside. We've seen this before at turn number 3. Oh, it's a big slide for the Polishman. He can't quite get it done. He's really struggling to get past right now.
Yeah, that's what I meant. If you brake a little bit too hard, the car just gets loose and you...
Oh!
But... oh!
He's gone for it at turn number 4. This would be spectacular. Side by side through one of the fastest corners on the circuit. Can he hold it around the outside? This would be spectacular for Garcia. What a defence this is as they run side by side. The two Hondas. What a battle between the two of them. Moritz can't do this anywhere. He cannot get through. He's going to go to the inside once again and Garcia surely now. But he can't get his nose down the inside. Now look at Pablo Lopez, who's on the back of them. Goodness me.
Those two are really going after each other.
How Garcia held on there, I will never know, because that was a spectacular defence of his position. We break down into turn number 12, the final turn on this circuit. And we complete lap number 5. 5 enthralling laps so far, and we've still got 39 more of them. 200 kilometres around Buriram, of course. It'll take just over an hour and 15 maybe, if previous form is anything to go by. So Moritz down. Oh, he's going to use the tarmac on the right hand side as he fakes one side and goes to the other. Now he brakes later, much more committed on this occasion. He's got his car further in front, but he's gone wide through turn number 3. And he can't get it done. He just cannot get this move done. He goes to the inside, and we've seen this before. Will there be a different outcome? That is the question. Down the inside from Moritz, and he has got it done. Garcia gives him that corner. He tries to go back to the inside, but he can't quite do it. And now Moritz goes deep, though. He goes deep, and now comes Garcia again. They go side by side through turn number 6. But he can't get back through. So I think Moritz has finally got that position after so many laps of trying. I think he's finally managed it.
Now it will be very interesting to see what he can do about the... looks like a 13-second lead to the to Santos. Very interesting stuff to see what he can do to the end of the race for this.
Yeah, he's kind of running away with it right now, and we're also seeing this battle, which is getting deeper and deeper in terms of how many people are in it. We've got these 2nd to 7th separated by about 6 seconds at the moment. They're all in this battle, currently headed by Mrotes, who just got through. Mark Strucker's up to 9th position, by the way, with Jesus Chirinos just in front of him. Be interested to see where he comes out. That's because of a mistake from Laszlo Teglis in the Tevez LC500. You can see in 10th position at the moment. He's 40 seconds back now because of that mistake. We've also got Jaksic, who is 11th and currently running last in the order. But goodness me, what a train we've got going on right now, and it's just incredibly exciting to watch these guys battle it out for the moment. I guess the question is, when do these guys pit? Do you pit if you're in the midfield of this battle? Do you pit now to get into clean air? Oh dear, somebody goes very wide. Fran Rodriguez taking some alternative lines through these corners.
Yeah, Bros can't really pull away from Garcia at the moment.
No, you can't.
And Santos is just...
Oh! Down the inside for Garcia. That's spectacular on the brakes. I've no idea how he's managed to make the corner, but Rose just goes right around the outside. Thank you very much. He's got the position back. Goodness me, Garcia's broken so late there. I don't really know how he's done it, but he has done. Looks like we've got a very close battle for 6th position as well, between Alessio Neto and Carlos Frau. So that's one to watch a bit later on, but Garcia and Mrotes have been providing all the entertainment so far. It's been absolutely fantastic.
That was a proper dive bomb from Garcia.
Yeah, it was. And the normal thing you see when you do dive bombs like that, the thing that often happens is the car, in this case Mrotes, normally cuts back and does the crisscross down on the front straight, and you'll get them back. But what actually happened there was Mrotes went right on the outside of him, even though the dive bomb had happened. So I wonder if Mrotes maybe broke a little bit too early. If he's looking in his mirrors too much, then that is entirely possible. Oh, a bit wide for the Team Bernie NSX there. Mrotes, of course, the winner last time out in Sepang, and he's had success in IVRC before, coming second in the Touring Car Championship last year, the second one. So he definitely knows how to race in this championship. As we've got a pitter in the background, Alessio Neto. Oh no, he's not even pitting, he's just gone very wide there. So not too good for him, but he'll be continuing on. Now you wondered if Santos could be caught by Mrotes. Well, he's just taken a second out of Santos has Mrotes, so we'll see if he can actually get there. But he does seem to be losing time. Generally, time is being lost by Mrotes, and I don't think we were expecting anything else, especially given Santos's performance in qualifying. We were pretty sure that he was going to run away with the race.
I actually wasn't.
I was.
As it seems like Santos gains half a second in the first sector. Half a second, that's a lot. There's only one corner in there. And he gains half a second.
I wonder if it's straight line speed or something, because that is a lot of time gaining in one corner.
Or he just runs very wide on exit. Just gets a massive run whilst doing so.
I'm not really sure. I haven't been watching him that much because we've been watching this battle with basically everybody for second position. Looks like the front three in this kind of train are running away right now. So that's Mrotes, Garcia and Lopez, sorry. Rodriguez slightly starting to lose the group. We come down towards turn number 3 again. Garcia's got a good run here. I wonder if he's going to go for this. We've seen him good on the brakes before. He's going to pull to the inside. He's going to brake late. Moats is going to brake pretty late as well, though. And now, does this give the opportunity to Pablo Lopez, who gets out the corner and he can't quite do anything, really. Going to go back a little bit further now to Mark Stwerker and Jesus Chirinos. These two are championship rivals. Although Chirinos is 26 points behind Stwerker, this is still a good drive so far from the German. We know how good he is, Mark Stwerker, but he's just proving it again right now. He's going to have to drive through the field if he wants to win this race, but I'm sure he's capable of it.
Well, he's I don't know how to say this. He's a bit drunk driving this race, so quite astonishing actually that he's still able to drive that good.
Yeah, I'm quite astonished he's drunk this early as well. It's not even 4 o'clock UK time, not even 5 o'clock European time. So quite early, but he's going to get down the inside of Chirinos anyway. Don't think the Venezuelan's going to have much to say about this. He had a spin earlier on, don't forget, did Chirinos, but he's not going to be able to get through again. And Stwerker is up into 8th position. Meanwhile, look at this. Pablo Lopez, Garcia and Moats all battling over 2nd position. Lopez goes to the outside now in the Nissan. Moats
with to the inside, tries to get a run out of the corner.
I think he has got the run as well.
Yeah, indeed.
Here we go. We've seen some fantastic battling through turn number 4 so far.
But he pulls out of it.
Yep.
Probably the better decision.
You don't often go side by side through turn 4 and come out alive, as Garcia goes down the inside almost of Bernard Moats, who goes wide through turn number 6 as well now. Trying to hold on to that position. Garcia's looking threatening here. I thought that Moats would drive away completely, but Garcia's holding his own very well now. So we're approaching 1/4 distance. Santos has already crossed the line for the 11th time. These guys are about to, but we are approaching that middle portion of the race. So when are these guys going to pit? That's the question. And where are they going to come out in relation to Mark Stwerker? That's the real question.
The question rather is how. I'm quite surprised. I'm 25-second lead in 11 laps. That's. I don't know how you've done this. That's amazing.
No, that's no weight for you. That's what that is. I'm not taking anything away from him, of course, but that's got to be a big help for sure.
But he ran 2 seconds faster the lap before. So it's it's not only the weight. It's just astonishing. The guys behind him fighting, which doesn't help either.
Yeah, it's definitely not all the way. It's Santos is definitely doing a fantastic job right now, that's for sure. But the weight's got to be helping him. Moats is currently carrying 112 kilograms with him, which is obviously not helping. But you know, it makes these races fantastically exciting because guys like Garcia can actually be very close to them indeed. And I wonder that's why Garcia could brake so much later, because he's stopping much less car, if you see what I mean. So
just a sentence.
yeah, he's putting it to good use right now. So Pablo Lopez just starting to lose a bit of time right now. The gap's 1 second between him and Garcia. That battle's just splitting up ever so slightly. Garcia, he does often take this very tight line into the corner, kind of triangles off this kind of extended hairpin. And yeah, he's currently in 3rd. Still. believe that Alessio Neto has made a mistake in the Cisco Air GTR because he was running around in about 4th position.
He was in the pits.
Oh, so, no, he went very wide. I thought he was going into the pit lane because he went so wide at the final corner, but he didn't actually go in the end. I was very surprised when he didn't as well, but
okay.
He just went very wide as we got somebody off. It's Jacek again, currently at the final corner in 11th position. But actually, I think I'm mistaken. Actually, Neto was the one that went wide at the final corner. I don't think he's made a big mistake anyway. However, Fran Rodriguez has, because he was running in 4th not too long ago, and obviously he's not there anymore. So, sorry, 5th position. He was just on the back of Pablo Lopez, and he made a bit of a mistake.
Can you just appreciate the fact Mark Struck is catching up to the guys that are fighting?
Yes.
He's around 14 seconds back of them.
Yeah, he is.
That's
Speaking of the guys that are fighting, it's on again between Moats and Garcia. Moats actually ran Garcia pretty wide through that corner there, turn number 3. So an interesting battle between these two, but it is helping Stwerker. The fact that these two are battling and Stwerker's running around on his own, it is helping him, and it might end up the German being in 2nd position when all this shakes out, and that would be quite an astonishing drive.
Teeth.
So can Moats get away? That's the big question. Trying to escape from Garcia and Pablo Lopez, who is also here, by the way. He's the one in the background.
Carlos Frau, meanwhile, can catch up easily to the guys in front.
He can, yes.
So if the guys in front keep fighting, maybe he has some words about that podium place.
There's a lot of candidates for that podium right now. And it's very good to see, actually. Currently watching Neto and Rodriguez battle it out for 6th position. Battle's going on all over the circuit right now as everybody goes wide. Neto and Rodriguez both go wide, and Stwerker and Chirinos are catching them both. So this is going to be very interesting. Got a 4-car battle now for 6th position. Wow. And one of them has stopped.
This Chirinos is setting personal best lap times, lap after lap after lap.
I think he might be learning a thing or two from following Stwerker the whole time, actually.
Or he's just putting a lot of concentration into this now to get in front of all of them.
True. Because obviously Chirinos is fighting Rodriguez and Neto for actual positions here. As they go side by side, Neto very late into turn number 4, and this is dangerous now for the championship leader. If he doesn't get out of here quickly, then he could end up in an accident. He gets down the inside of the other Nissan. Neto, bit of contact, quite a lot of contact. He muscles his way through, and he nearly spins the car through turn number 6. And now Chirinos is going to get everybody here. He's got one of them. Neto is down to 9th position. Stwerker is going to be involved in an accident here if he's not careful, because this is a very energised battle at the moment. Nervous times for the championship leader.
Oh, coming very close to Rodriguez. Probably trying to make a move as soon as possible, maybe into turn 1. No, okay, no. It's
a little bit too far back, but it's definitely possible. And given that Rodriguez just took a slightly defensive line into turn 1 there, he might go for this as Rodriguez actually runs wide and gets a very good run, which Stwerker's not particularly pleased about, as you might be able to imagine. So down to turn number 3, is he going to go for it? Nearly. Chirinos is under pressure. Close once again.
Oh, in the second phase of the corner, he runs very wide.
He does.
Now Stwerker gets a run on Rodriguez coming down to turn. Is it turn 3 or 4 for me?
4.
Oh.
Fast left-hander. Round the outside first. Oh, he's made it work. Fantastic. And Rodriguez almost off the track in sympathy, as now down the inside for Chirinos. A bit more contact, but he's got that position done.
Yeah, of course, Jesus Guinness wants to follow Mark Strucker to copy his
Yeah.
lines and breaking points and stuff. So he wants to stay behind him. Obviously.
Yeah, because why wouldn't you really? You can pick up a thing or two.
It's now Bernard Morse is now actually able to pull away from Garcia by around 1 second now. So Bernard Morse seems like he has figured out how to. Well, as I said, that he runs very wide through turn 1. The commentator's curse once again.
Yes, he had it figured out before we said he had. Now he hasn't. So sorry about that, but yeah, he's got a 35-second deficit to Santos, who is still leading the race. We'll give him a bit of airtime here because he's just been so good that we haven't shown him very much so far. But here you are, Santos getting a bit of airtime here, and it's been a fantastic drive from him so far. Obviously, it's not over yet, but he's definitely in the best position possible.
It's a great drive from him.
It is, yeah. So Neto and Rodriguez are still battling, despite the fact that Stwerker and Chirinos briefly broke up the battle. A very late move from turn number 4 again from Neto. And now down the inside he goes at turn 5. He's got it done, but the cutback from Rodriguez, that's fantastically done. But he can't quite execute it, so Neto holds on, and the Brazilian is into 8th position. A little bit wide through there.
Morse meanwhile catching up to Martin Jacek to Labyrinth.
He is, yes. Jacek has had quite a few issues in this race so far, has to be said.
Yeah, Jacek has a very abysmal race. Isn't going good for him.
No, not really. Currently 11th and 1 lap down already on the race leader. Is not so good for him. So, the question I've got is, the gap between, it's a bit of an extended question, but the gap between Moritz and Stwerker is 13 seconds at the moment. So would you say that Moritz has got absolutely no chance of getting out ahead of Stwerker here after his pit stop? Because that gap seems to me to be too small to get out in.
Indeed, I don't think that it will be quite enough time to stay in front of Mark Stwerker, but maybe Mark Stwerker wins it somehow, then he will still get in front. We will see once we come to that.
Yep. I'm not even halfway in this race yet, so still a little way to go.
Mark Stwerker meanwhile pulling away from Jesus Quirinos.
Yeah.
As we can also see on his lap times are breaking in again. He isn't as fast as he was. He ran directly behind him. That's interesting.
Yeah. It is actually the effect of the car in front of you. Obviously, it's often talked about that having a car in front of you is a bad idea because you get all the aero wash and whatever, but can be helpful as well if you want to follow lines and whatever.
You don't actually have that much of dirty air behind the car.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting if you think about it. You have those huge rear wings and stuff, and don't really have that much of dirty air.
Meanwhile, Neto and Rodriguez continue to battle and make a bit contact and they spin. Wow, I'm amazed they've saved that one and they're still side by side through almost drifting simultaneously through turn number 3, and they're going to go up the hill now and towards turn 4. Very fast corner, and Neto's found himself on the inside quite a lot here, and they've made more severe contact on this occasion. Rodriguez has gone very wide, but he's still side by side with him. He goes off again, but yeah, quite an interesting battle between these two because they're making a bit of contact down there at turn 4, but I think they've both got away with it.
Santos has DNF'd. What? Santos has DNF'd. He's out of this race.
Oh my goodness. Santos, after leading for so long, has DNF'd.
Okay, I didn't. Speechless.
This is quite remarkable. So the race is on for the win now between these guys, who are basically giving Santos the victory. But obviously, in sim racing, these things can happen. But Moats officially takes the lead. Garcia takes second and Lopez third. Goodness me.
Wow.
Don't quite know what to say to that one.
It's like having an engine failure in the
Yeah.
middle of the race. Bad luck for him.
Yeah, terrible luck.
But what it also means is like we now have two people fighting for the win
Yeah.
instead of second place. That might get very interesting indeed. And Mark Stwerker is also in this now for the win.
Yeah, he is. So Moats leads, Garcia's second, and Lopez is third. But where's Stwerker going to play into this? Because don't forget, the championship leader has made his pit stop.
It's,
Jacek makes a spin there.
yeah, he's in the wall again.
Yeah, he had that contact earlier on with somebody.
He's having massive problems with his car or something.
Yeah,
Not
looks
being
like
able,
it.
not being able to keep it on the track.
So we've got the top four cars separated by 8 seconds at the moment, which is fantastic. Very close between all of these guys, but the gap between Stwerker and Moats continues to fall. And now it looks like Stwerker is actually in the net race lead, despite being qualifying down in the lower parts of the top 10. And he had a pretty terrible start as well, but as he often does, the 3-time touring car champion has found his way to the front once again.
Someone is writing it in the YouTube live chat. Santos had an internet connection failure. That's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
He will be absolutely furious, I think. It's nothing you want to have with that amount of lead.
You would be furious, wouldn't you? Given the disconnecting from the race lead like that.
Yeah,
Must be really difficult.
With a 35-second lead, I would be furious.
Yeah. But we know he's got the pace. Can he repeat his antics in 3 weeks at Autopolis? That's the question. Probably, to be honest, because he as I said, he's in fantastic pace here today, and I'm sure he will be back for more. So Garcia's getting a little bit closer to Moats here, and this is going to worry the pole because he doesn't want to start battling with Garcia. That will allow Stwerker to get even closer, or maybe even further ahead when Moats decides to make his pit stop. So he definitely doesn't want to be involved in a battle.
I think if both of the guys are smart now, they won't battle or do things. But we will never know. I had that situation before that two of my drivers in the TCC battled for the podium position, and then one of the guys lost it and DNF'd because of that. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that happening. That is for sure.
Especially commentating this race and then being the team owner of the team. Oh. But yeah, what can you do?
Yeah. Out of your control at that point. But half distance is about to be crossed now. There we go, onto the front straight for the 23rd time of asking. And we are halfway in this race, so been a fantastic one so far. I believe Carlos Ferrao has come into the pit lane actually. No, he hasn't, he's just dropped back a little bit. And he hasn't even dropped back either, so I don't know why I've seen that, but there you go. Moats leads, but the question is, when is he going to pit? Would you recommend he goes long now, or do you recommend that he pits now? Oh, Garcia! Oh my goodness! That is the kind of thing that can happen on the brakes that you were talking about earlier.
Oh, Moss can be very very lucky to not have damage with this one. I don't know if... I would certainly think about pitting now, but I think last time out Ross pitted around in the last third of the race. He pitted in there and well, he still won that race. So ultimately it doesn't really matter when you pit, because everyone will pit, and I think no one will take tires, so ultimately it doesn't matter.
The question is about clean air, really. I was thinking that maybe he would pit now just to get out of the battle with Garcia and stop having to look in his mirror so much, but given that he's just opened up 1.2 seconds because of that mistake from Garcia, Moats might stay out for a little bit longer now. We'll see. Gap to Sturka, 12.8 as we stand right now. It's hovering around that margin, so these two have got the same pace, but the fact that Moats and Garcia and all of these guys were battling so hard earlier on means that they're now really in the clutches of Sturka. I'm not sure how long a pit stop is going to take, or driving through the pit lane, then doing the stop and then driving out again, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be more than 13 seconds.
Indeed. Without the pit stops, everything... Maybe Mark Sturka would have been in the lead by now without him doing this pit stop already, but if he manages to carry that through and win this race, then it was perfect strategy for him to come into the pits that early.
It was a good call because he was really involved in a battle. Now, it actually did thin out, actually, the battle that he was involved in. I believe Jacek was involved and he spun. So did somebody, Laszlo Tegler spun as well. So that's two guys who were eliminated from it. In the end, it was only Neto and only Neto was left in that battle because Chirinos had that mistake as well. So in the end, Sturka would have only had to negotiate Neto, and then he would have been through. But he went for the pit stop at the end of lap 1, went for a bold strategy call, and it looks like it's paid off for him right now. But as we've seen with Santos, anything can happen in this race, so he won't be counting his chickens yet, and he'll be just reserving that excitement for now, because we've seen before, and we'll see again probably, that Moats has definitely got pace, so we'll see how he's going to use it today.
By the way, I don't know if you've noticed it, but we were missing one car from the start, and it is Christian Alvarez, who unfortunately couldn't start the race. As he pointed out in the YouTube live chat, he had some internet problems as well and disconnected from the server, it seems like. But that's very unfortunate for him.
It is, yeah. Shame to see that happen, because he would have been right involved with this fight with Moats, Garcia and Lopez, wouldn't he? He had that kind of pace. He was actually second in qualifying. He might be leading by now. So
Martin Jacek meanwhile at DNFs.
Yeah. Oh. See. He has, yeah. We could be down to 9 here with that one. A shame for him, but he's not had the best of races. I think it's safe to say that he's had a bit of a nightmare in this race so far. Closest battle on track is still Rodriguez versus Neto. I think that Neto's actually made a mistake, because I'm pretty sure the Brazilian was in front of him, of Rodriguez, before, or a few laps ago at least, so I think Neto has made a bit of a mistake.
I actually wouldn't say the same as you. I think the closest battle we have at the moment is Ross against Sturka. Or maybe not close, but intense. We don't know what will happen with these two guys.
That is true. There's a lot of unknowns in that battle between those two. Just wondering when Moritz is going to pit, and then all will be revealed really when that does happen. But playing the waiting game, if he waits until lap 41, then he's not going to have much chance to make up a deficit if there is going to be one. So that's why I'll be pitting soonish, if I was him, but he doesn't want to get caught behind other cars, notably Jesus Chirinos. Because if he does get caught behind the Venezuelan, then there really is going to be a bit of a problem for him. He's going to lose quite a lot of time.
No one pits.
No, still nobody pits. And the gap between Moritz and Stwerker continues to close. Now down below 12 seconds.
Laszlo Teglasmin was setting a personal best lap time. That's actually on pace with the leaders. Oh, great job by him.
I believe he's following one of the leaders right now, actually. Don't work out who it is, but...
Oh, Oh, Pablo Lopez meanwhile spinning!
Oh no!
Oh, losing this podium position. Giving
He
Max
does. Oh, that's a
position.
shame. He needs to be careful rejoining there, because I can hear a car coming from the left-hand side, but fortunately for him, Chirinos was far enough back, and now here we go. So, this is going to be very interesting.
If I would be him, I would now dive into the pits.
Yeah.
Calm myself a bit down while standing in there, and then see what will happen.
Yes.
So
I think that would be a good choice.
No one pits again. Max Verstappen doesn't need to pit. Pablo Lopez isn't pitting either. Jesus doesn't pit, runs very wide.
Yes.
Laszlo Teglas isn't pitting as well. No one pits.
No, Teglas is a lap down as well, so... Yeah, but the battle for the lead is on again, it looks like, between Garcia and Moritz. Gap's closed once more. I wonder if Moritz is losing a little bit of pace because Stwerker is catching him as well.
I think Stwerker now, ultimately, he knows that he's going for the win here, so I think he's pushing like crazy to get that win. Which will be huge for him in the championship to beat his championship rival.
Yeah,
Oh.
the minimum he would extend his margin to in the championship was 15 points. The gap between first and second is 5, so that would extend the championship margin by 5 as well. So at best, Moritz is going to come into the final 2 rounds 15 points down, which is going to be not too good, and he needs to start taking points away from the German if he wants to get this title. Doesn't look like he can do for now, though.
Elise Neto, meanwhile, is pitting, so one of the cars is pitting. Something.
Not the one we were quite expecting.
From the top guys, no one is pitting again.
Yes. Preferring to wait just a moment. Chirinos and Lopez are pretty close together, but Lopez with that spin, he was doing very well indeed in 3rd position. So he was going to really play himself into the championship actually, the way it was going, but now that he's down there in 5th, battling with Chirinos, not looking good for him. Not looking good for Chirinos either.
Last lap, Pablo was 1 second slower than Jesus, so... Oh, now getting a bit of an oversteer moment in the hairpin. There's... Oh, they catch up to the car of Elise Neto to lap it, so...
Yeah.
Let's see what comes out with this.
This could be interesting. 3 cars clumped very close together indeed on the circuit.
Ferran Rodriguez, meanwhile, had dived into the pits. But they all spent very long, so I think they all take tires and fuel or something.
Pit stops are finally happening, which is a good thing. Obviously, you need to take one mandatory pit stop in the JTC.
So the top 2 not pitting.
Nope.
Brown not pitting, Mark Zucker doesn't need to pit. Pablo Lopez, I think.
Here comes Chirinos. We'll see if one of these two come in because they're going side by side into the final corner. Is Lopez going to go for it? He does. Lopez is in.
Oh, pit speed limit is 100 k's. That's
fast.
Yeah, oh, that's the pit stop how I like to see it. Just coming in, standing, and immediately drive away again. That's how those pit stops work.
I'm just staying on board with him here because I'm just seeing how long it takes. How much time he loses. And the answer is about 15 seconds, maybe more. So Mark Sturker is definitely looking good for this race as it stands right now.
10 seconds the gap between Mark Sturker and Bernard Morales.
It continues to close, that's for sure. Even Garcia's catching up to Rose again. Maybe he's losing a little bit of pace. Is the Team Bernie driver. Into the final corner. Is he going to go for a pit stop? Seems like a lot of them are. And he is. So Bernard Mosey's in. This is the crucial moment in this race. Finding his pit box. Trying to. He stops and he is going tyres.
Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting call by him. He's trying to do the same as before, as last race. Trying to work his way up again.
Well, how much extra pace is this going to give him? That's the question.
Oh, we won't know. It's this. We will see in the second sector or in the first sector, the third, sorry. Just the time he gains through there. It will be something, but I don't think it will be that much. Maybe he has effectively thrown this race away.
Possibly. Yep, 20 seconds to Sturker. That is huge. He's going to need nearly 2 seconds a lap on the championship leader, who is meanwhile on the back of Carlos Frau. Going to be a good battle between these two. Both of these guys actually won the WC in 2020, just in different categories, of course. Frau was in the LMP2s and Sturker was in the LMP1, I believe.
Indeed.
That was one of Frau's 2 WC wins, won in both seasons. In different classes as well, so he's very versatile. Here we go then. Down to turn number 3. Is Frau going to fight this? You wouldn't expect him to. Could be an easy pass for the German. Sturker goes to the inside. Is Frau going to try and hang it around the outside through turn number 3, or is he just going to let him have it? Looks like the latter. Although he does get the cutback and a good run, he's not going to go for it at turn 4, you wouldn't think.
No.
Oh, maybe I've been proved wrong here, because he's gone for the inside. If he goes, he's going to dive. Oh, it's very close. But he can't quite do it. And now you've got to say that Sturker is going to be off and up the road.
Where's Bernard Morales meanwhile in all of this? Ooh, he's very far. He's around 25 seconds away from Mark.
Rodriguez and Neto are back to battling again, but it's actually not for a position. Oh no, it is. They're battling for a position. He just lets Chirinos through. And Laszlo Teglis is even behind them as well. I wonder if he's for position. I think we've got a free car battle for 7th as well.
Jesus Chirinos, meanwhile, I think he's going to make his pit stop now.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
So with 12 laps to go, he goes into the pit lane.
What's his... Carlos Frau is in the pits as well.
Yes.
Yeah, like we want to see it. No tires, no fuel. Great.
So Chirinos is coming. Frauer's got out ahead of Moats, of course. No, Chirinos doesn't get out ahead. I don't think Chirinos took tyres, but I didn't see. He's actually very close to Pablo Lopez here now. So that's going to be another battle to watch. There's battles all over the place at the moment. Down to turn number 3. Going to go back to Rodriguez, Neto and Teglas, who are all fighting very hard indeed. Over 7th. That might be a developing one later on. So Garcia leads and he stays out. So 11 laps to go. We've gone 3/4 distance so far. 150 kilometers have been completed. Still 50 to go.
Ay. Jesus Guinness and Pablo Lopez very close together.
Yeah, they are.
That will be interesting.
So is Moats catching Stwerker, sorry. Well, I have to say not really. If I'm honest. The gap's 23 seconds between them.
Oh, it was 25, so he's catching up, but doesn't seem like much.
No, not quickly enough. Meanwhile, Chirinos and Lopez, as you said, battling hard. Nissan versus Honda. And it looks like the Nissan has got the power down the straight now. This is the battle for 5th. And to the inside goes Lopez. But round the outside for Chirinos, much better on the brakes and better on the turning as well. Bit close. I've noticed actually the Nissan doesn't seem to be great through the Stokes, but at least, well, we were with Neto. He didn't seem to have it really dialed in at turn number 3. I wonder if Lopez is suffering with something similar, but meanwhile, oh, it's so close in turn number 4. But he can't get it done, and there's a bit of a bump there as well. Chirinos goes wide, but Lopez doesn't capitalise on the bump.
As Garcia is now diving into the pits. Let's see what he does. I went the same. No fuel, no tires.
Nothing.
Mark Stwerker meanwhile salvaging his way into the lead. That's very, very unusual.
So Garcia is going to be 2nd pretty comfortably here. Carlos Frau is going to be 3rd. And can Bernard Moats salvage a podium? That's the big question.
Look on his laptop. So in the last lap, Bernard Moss was only 4/10 faster than Carlos Frau. So the tire gamble hadn't worked out for him.
No, not really. Bit of a shame. But lightning hasn't struck twice, I'm afraid.
Bit of an oversteer moment coming out of the hairpin.
He's pushing hard. I reckon he can get to and pass Carlos Frau, that's for sure, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to get any more out of this race.
1/10 faster in the first sector.
Chirinos versus Lopez is still going on, by the way, and so is Teglas, Rodriguez and Neto. They're all battling. Actually coming up on another car there. Not quite sure who it is.
Looks like Garcia.
It does, yeah. As Rodriguez goes very wide again. They'll cross the line. There's 9 laps to go now.
10-second lead from Mark Stwerker.
Yeah, that's quite remarkable. Really is.
Bernard Morse, meanwhile, eating, I don't know how to say it, 1/10 faster last lap. Eating into the gap. For the hold up, for the first sector, he's already 1/10 faster again. Very close stuff between those two.
I think I'd call that more nibbling into the gap, to be honest, than eating. It's he's not really making significant inroads at the moment, and he needs to, because there's not many laps to go. Eight as they cross the line now.
Losing,
So he needs to close quicker.
yeah, losing half a tenth in the second sector. That's
Yeah, you just can't be doing that, really. You're trying to bear down on someone. Losing time anywhere really is not very good, especially through the middle sector where you're supposed to be gaining the most time with the new tyre advantage. So, not going well for him at the moment, but this battle for 7th is still going on, by the way. And actually, there's one for 5th, sorry. Very close indeed between Lopez and Chirinos. Lopez gets a good run out of turn 1. He's in the slipstream. He's going to try and go to the inside. Or the outside, or the inside, or maybe just into the back of Chirinos. Here he goes, onto the brakes. Oh, he skates it on the brakes, and he gets it done. That was a good move. But can Chirinos come back at him into turn number 4? We've seen a lot of interesting moments through here so far. We're about to see another one, I think. Round the outside for Lopez. And Chirinos brakes ever so slightly earlier to let him have the corner, so the Spaniard is up ahead of the Venezuelan there.
now 12-second lead for Mark Sterker. He's casually driving fast.
Yeah, he's not even trying that hard at the moment, but he's still extending his gap. Actually really hasn't worked out for Bernard Motes here. Not gone well for him at all, and he's going to end up losing points to Carlos Frau. He's not careful. Frau came into the day 11 points behind him, and he's going to gain 3. So 8 points is going to be the gap between them, as more battling, well, nearly battling between Neto, Rodriguez and Teglas.
Taylor surprisingly is able to hold up with them.
Yeah, it is a bit. It's an interesting free car battle between them. Very wide for the Honda there of Rodriguez, and now here comes Neto. Did very well last week in the American Endurance Championship driving a Cadillac. Didn't qualify actually in the one that was broadcasted, but he ended up finishing on the podium, I believe. I think it was 2nd place. Very wide into the final corner there for Rodriguez. Neto has a run, or had a brief run. Is he going to go for it at turn 1? He shows the nose, but he doesn't go for it. Now, what's the run like on the exit of the corner? Maybe wondering actually why the hairpin down here is called turn 3. Well, it's not called that, but that's the number of it. Apparently that kink on the back straight is a corner, according to the track map, so we just have to go with that, even though it's not really a corner. And I've seen actually on track maps that the hairpin counted as 2 corners because it's kind of quite extended, really. It's not really a very tight hairpin, it's quite open. So we've kind of gone to the American school of corner names there, I'm afraid. Like Laguna Seca later on in the year. The corkscrew is turn 8 and turn 8A, apparently, which is going to be great.
It's a bit confusing.
It is very confusing, yeah. Don't really understand it. Because they call their ovals having 4 turns, don't they?
Yep.
So,
That I think actually makes sense if you think about it.
I guess it does a little bit, but
Yeah,
by the
actually,
same token, we should probably call every hairpin a 2 turns. But, you know.
Actually, talking about ovals, tomorrow the OWC, the IndyCars driving at Texas Motor Speedway, will of course get live streamed. So switch into that if you're interested in some sweet oval racing.
Yeah, that will be good. Texas often provides good racing for IndyCars. This is providing some good racing for us right now as well, as Neto tries to go down the inside of Rodriguez. A little bit shaky under brakes. But he can't get through. He's struggling to get through right now, but yeah, he's staying behind for now. So 4 laps to go when we get to the line. This race has pretty much flown by, to be honest. It's been great entertainment from start to finish. Oh! Neto down the inside of Rodriguez, who's pushed very wide indeed. And he won't be pleased, but he's been overtaken anyway, has he? And now Neto gets the cutback. Can he get down the inside? Oh, it's going to be close. Rodriguez takes a bit of a defensive line. And now down the inside again for Neto. There's more contact. Goodness me. These two getting aggressive with each other now. And Fran Rodriguez really trying to hold on, but he can't quite. Laszlo Teglis just the watching brief in this fight. And a good exit from Neto again here. Can he get down the inside? It's turn of 1. He decides not to. Goes for the run on the exit, and that is a good run. He's run off the corner though. Oh, contact. They've got to be careful, these two, not to end up in the wall, both of them. Battling over 7th position here, quite hard. Oh, a bit of more contact. As Neto almost looked like he was going for a bit of a side draft there. Neto right round the outside. And he can't get it done.
Those two aren't careful, then Laszlo Teglis can just slip through.
Yeah. Down the inside again for Neto, more contact! Ooh. Rodriguez, big hit there, and Teglis is going to get one of them. Is he going to get the other as well? That would be spectacular. He doesn't quite. But that was a big hit between Neto and Rodriguez there. Not really sure what those two were doing, but other than making a bit of contact.
That was from, like it's held up from those.
Yeah.
Back in when I brought into that's interesting stuff. The gap's now at 3 seconds.
Yeah, it will continue to fall while Frau is caught in this. Caught in the crossfire of a quite. Oh! Morris very nearly lost it on the exit of the final turn there. I was trying to cycle backwards and then I realised it couldn't do that very quickly. But looks like Chirinos is closing on Lopez again now as well. So all these battles starting to materialise in the final few laps, which is great news. As Teglis tries to go down the inside of Neto. Not quite. I don't know what kind of view you had of that incident between Neto and Rodriguez, but what did you think of it? Was it too aggressive by Neto, or did Rodriguez turn in?
Racing incident. Both of them very aggressive with each other. Both of them off track before. Just aggressive racing. And as it happened, Rodriguez then having the worst of it.
He did, yeah. Right, all of that. Gonna go back to the battle now for 5th place with Chirinos and Lopez. Oh, contact! Almost as soon as we go on board, and now Chirinos is through almost straight away. Down the inside. And he gets it done. But the cutback, look at that from Pablo Lopez, fantastic. Side by side round the outside for the Honda. Can he keep it there so he can get there for turn 10? He can. Lopez doesn't stand a chance out there in the marbles. The Chirinos is back through again. Meanwhile, Mark Struicker's onto the penultimate lap of the race.
Carlos Frau now up ahead of the three cars fighting. As meanwhile, it looks like those cars are starting to fight again. Laszlo Tegler's now behind Rodriguez. Now Rodriguez trying to get revenge on Luis Neto. I don't hope in the NASCAR way of revenge just plowing into him again.
Oh, he's getting close. That's Carlos Frau in the Lexus just up in front. We don't need to worry about him for this battle for 7th, but Neto is the car we are chasing up at the moment. All 3 cars represented in this battle, with Bernard Rhodes chasing them all down in 4th position on the road. He's trying to put a lap on them, of course. However, we're going to have to leave that battle here for just a moment, because Mark Struicker's on the final lap, and it's been a fantastic drive from him. He's winning by 14 seconds at the moment. He's showing why he is the championship leader. He's going to extend that margin now to Bernard Rhodes and Pablo Lopez and Carlos Frau and Jesus Chirinos.
Ooh, Fran Rodriguez not trying to get on the inside of Luis Neto. Bit of collision made.
Oh yeah, here we go.
And both running wide in the first corner.
These two have been aggressive with each other earlier on in this race, and very late on the brakes for Rodriguez. He's gone right round the outside. That's fantastic from him. He gets it done as well.
Ooh, great job. Taking the momentum around the outside, swinging into the corner. Great job there.
He did. Meanwhile, though, Mark Struicker is in the final sector at the moment. Turn 9 is the 90-degree right-hander just here. And then he'll have turns 10, 11 and 12. And then he'll be taking victory by roughly 13 seconds. Extend his championship margin as well for Repsol. Going to be very, very pleased about that one. Final corner for Mark Struicker. And the German takes his 2nd race victory of the JTC season. A fantastic drive from the German. A big well done to him.
Great
extending his championship margin again. But meanwhile, let's go back to Neto Rodriguez, because Rodriguez has actually got through now. Bernard Rhodes is in the background. Is Laszlo Tegler's going to go for a last-minute dive? No, not quite. Or is he? Nearly. Thought about it, but didn't quite go for it.
Bernard Moros, 4th, Carlos Frau 3rd, Garcia 2nd.
Whoa!
What happened to...
After the finish line, I think. Some kind of altercation. So Lopez gets 5th position ahead of Chirinos. That's a change, I believe. Chirinos was in front not too long ago. But Neto, I believe, has been hit by somebody.
So I think everyone has crossed the line, I think.
Yeah, they have.
So, Mark Struicker. That's what I meant with the surprise winners.
Yeah.
He managed to win this race for some reason.
Somehow.
Oh, now doing donuts in the hairpin. You'll love to see that.
Yep. So Struicker takes the victory from Emilio Garcia in 2nd position. Carlos Frau finishing 3rd. Bernard Rhodes 4th position. Pablo Lopez 5th. Jesus Chirinos in 6th position. Fran Rodriguez, first man a lap down in 7th. Alessio Neto in a race-long battle with him came home just 6 tenths down, and then Laszlo Tegler was the last of the finishers after an hour and 7 minutes. Then retired from the race was Martin Jacek and Giovanni Santos, who you'd have to say would have probably won that race had he not disconnected earlier on.
Indeed. He would have taken this win with Upper. He may have even been able to lap the whole field, but...
Yep.
We won't know. We will never know.
No, we won't. So Struicker takes 25 points, Bernard Rhodes only 13. That championship margin is going to extend to 22 points, which is pretty large, you have to say. Pablo Lopez is going to lose 14 points. He's going to be 27 points down, so that gap between Motes and Lopez is still close, 4 points between them. Carlos Frau loses 9 points on the day. He is now 30 points down, so that closes up once again. And Jesus Chirinos loses 15 points, which means he is 41 points behind. So the battle for second position in this championship really is on, even if Stwerker has really taken this championship by the stranglehold, or by the scruff of the neck, sorry. In this race, he's definitely favourite to take the championship from here. So then, that has been it for the race here for the Buriram 200 kilometres. Can I bring... I wonder if I have the... No, I don't have the permission to bring Mark Stwerker in, but if he's listening, then he can get himself in, I'm sure. Or if you can do it, I can't. Yeah. It's, I don't have the permission to bring Stwerker in, but we'll talk to him. Race winner. I'm not sure if you can actually drag Stwerker in here, Thomas, but I don't have the permission to do that.
User joined your channel.
There we go. So Mark Stwerker joins us now. Race winner in the Repsol Nissan GTR, of course. Driving the number 3 car. How are you doing after that one? A good race victory for you in the end, but I want to talk to you about the first part of the race because you qualified down the order and you were in all the battles earlier on. So what led you to pitting so early on lap 1, the earliest of the pit stops? What led you to do that?
Yeah, I had a little... In the end, the start itself was okay, but I had a little... a little few incidents with Netto during the first laps. So my car was damaged and I dropped down the order quite a little. And I was down in 9th, I guess. And then it came to my mind just to dive into the pits in the first lap, just to avoid any other fighting on track. And hopefully don't get into trouble with other cars, with other drivers. While trying to get back. In the end it worked out quite fine, I guess.
Yeah, it did.
It was a really tough race, but it worked out.
Did you think that you were going to be able to pull that off when you pitted, or were you simply just getting out? Was that not in your mind by that point?
Not really.
No,
no, definitely. I was just getting out of...
Sorry, I'm just getting a bit of breakup on my end. I don't know if it's just my end or...
out.
Oh, there we go. It was.
Entered your channel.
He's back again.
Yeah, I guess my connection was...
Yeah, okay. I thought it was just me, sorry. That's why I was a bit unsure about talking. But no, it wasn't in the end. It was... it's fixed now anyway. So I want to talk to you about the final couple of rounds. We've got Autopolis to come in 3 weeks' time, then Laguna Seca another 3 weeks after that. Both 200-kilometre races. However, for Autopolis, you'll have half the ballast you would normally. Obviously 1 point is 1 kilogram instead of 2. And Laguna Seca, you won't have any at all. So how are you feeling about those two races in terms of the championship? Can you hold on from this point?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not really sure right now. Cause Bernard Moose is a really tough guy to fight, and he's got the pace. Maybe he can win both of the races, and then air is getting thin. We'll see in the end. Don't know yet. Hope it'll be a good fight.
Yeah, it should be anyway. It should be a good fight. So, Mark, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck for the next 2 races in the next few weeks as well.
Thank you very much. See you.
See you later. There you go. And that was Mark Stwerker, winner of the Buriram 200 kilometres. Doesn't look like anybody else is going to join us for an interview, so I think we will wrap it off here. But once more, Thomas Raschke, final thoughts on that quite brilliant Buriram race, actually.
Yeah, it was definitely more action than I thought intentionally, but yeah, Mark Strucker somehow managed to win this race. That's what I meant with surprise winners. I didn't expect that to happen. I don't know what to say. It was just a great race all around.
It really was a fantastic race. Well, there you go. That has been the broadcast for round 5 of the Japanese Touring Car Championship. It's been a pleasure to be along with you once again. I hope that I will be joining you in an IVRC broadcast sometime soon. A big thank you to Thomas Raschke as well for coming in and commentating with me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope we'll be able to do it again soon. But until tomorrow, I believe, where we've got IndyCars at Texas here at IVRC. So hopefully you will join us for that race. And don't forget to join us in 3 weeks' time for the next round of the JTC at Autopolis. But until those broadcasts, we'll see you very soon. It's goodbye for now.
Yeah, goodbye. Hope to see you for the next races. I said Texas tomorrow. Will be interesting. Some